clinical documentation must be completed within 1 week of your clinical date. Paperwork for the clinical must be turned in as soon as possible. Without paperwork submitted, your clinical documentation will not be approved. If corrections are needed to your submitted clinical documentation, your instructor will return the clinical to you. Once returned, you'll have 24 hours to complete the corrections and then resubmit. Go to the Opportunities tab and select My Opportunities. Then below, find the appropriate clinical location under the Ready to Document tab. Then select Begin Documentation. From left to right, you'll need to complete each tab until it's colored green. Now select Preceptor. In the drop-down box, look for your preceptor that you had on the particular clinical that you were on. If the preceptor is not listed, select this button below to make a custom entry. For this test clinical, I'm going to go ahead and put Frankie as my preceptor. Once selected, make sure you click Save and Next. This is the Time and Patient Data tab. At the bottom here, don't worry about the patient time or physician time. And then we're going to go ahead and begin by adding our first patient. Now go ahead and enter the appropriate information here. I forgot to insert my time. Make sure that you do so. Under the Chief Complaint section, select the complaint that best fits your patient. Here I selected breathing problems for my asthma patient. Now under this drop-down box, these are all the skills that you performed on this patient. Make sure that you select and add all the skills that you performed. And just like Platinum Planner skills, please select Successful to make sure you get credit for each of the skills. Now the additional patient notes here is where you'll write your full and detailed narrative. Now be mindful that your clinical can be returned to you for an incomplete narrative. And trust me, it will. We recommend writing your narratives in either SOAP, iChart, or chronological format. And if you have any other questions about writing narratives, please see your instructor. Your narrative must document the skill or skills that you selected earlier. If your narrative does not reflect your skills, your clinical will be returned to you. And as you can see here, I copied over my narrative from a separate Word document. I did this because every 30 minutes this page refreshes. And if I were to write my narrative on this page and it wasn't complete in 30 minutes, I would lose it all. In this narrative, I used the SOAP format and was very detailed. You, as a student, should include as many details as possible. And when you're finished, select Save New Patient. If you had another patient to add, this is the button you select to add another patient to this clinical. Now let's select Clinical Forms. Whatever forms are present when you pull this page up are all the forms you must complete. The only form that was required for us on this one is our site preceptor evaluation. Fill out the form and in the comment section tell us your thoughts. This is the time to praise your preceptor or the time to complain about the experience you had. These are read by the reviewer and they will be passed on to the program director. Now make sure when you're finished to click Save and Next. This is your Clinical Documents tab. Direct your attention to your Uploaded Files location. Here you will upload all of your completed documents that are required. This means that you will also have to have the appropriate signatures on these documents. You can take a picture of these documents or you may scan them, then attach the file and upload. Once complete, click Save. And as you can see here, you have all green checks except for Submit Clinical. Then select Submit Clinical Documentation and you are complete. Congratulations.